Man, what's good, chat? I ain't even late. 1 to 10. How we doing, ladies and gentlemen? I'm back.
Lord have mercy, bruh. Bro, I'm sitting here trying to go live. Check, you hear me? Type baloney if you can hear me, bro. Man, golly, dude. Like, what's it doing, man? I'm sitting here trying to go live. It's just not, it's like half the bit rate I need to go live. And then I can't even do it off RL Toolkit, so we're cooked. GG. Cheers, though. Yo! What's good, Rob? What's good, chat? What's good, mom? What's good, chat? What's good, chat? What's good, ladies and gentlemen? I hath returned anyway. Red hoodie. Egghead with the 5 and Dopamine with the 5. I missed you, B-Nell, Caitlin, Eva, Kenzie, Super, Adrian, Spider, Heather, Zeph, Pork Chop, Cert, appreciate y'all, Stardust, D, Mr. Vanessa, OJ, appreciate y'all, W Subbers, man, appreciate y'all. Chat, how's everybody's day going on a scale of 1 to 10? Let me hear it, huh? Chat, how we doing, man? Huh? How we doing? Disgustingly hot outside again. I made the grave mistake of trying to go outside for a little bit today, and that was an absolute disaster. Not gonna lie, never doing that again, buddy. Tried to go outside today, chat. GG. Should have known better. Yo, Big Money with the 5 gifted. Appreciate you. Big Money Nate with the 5 gifted. Appreciate you. Hold on. Chat, y'all missed me, be honest. Type baloney if you missed me. Did you miss me, chat? Yo, happy birthday, JC. Chat, tell JC happy birthday. Happy birthday, JC. Thank you. Yo, Case, what should I eat tonight? See, I'm glad you asked. Right. Okay. What should you eat tonight? Man. Hold on, I'm thinking. Hold up. Let me think. Not gonna lie, to eat some noodles, bruh. Some noodle action sounds good. Yo, Big Papa Randy with the 5. Appreciate you, Big Papa Randy with the 5. Not gonna lie, you can't go wrong with just straight up some noodle action, dude. I'm be honest with you. You can't go wrong with it. You know what I mean, chat? You can't. You know. Case is a mailman. I literally have ring camera footage of him delivering my package today. You're literally getting sued for misinformation. Thank you. Yo, Spank me with the 10 gifted. W, Spank me with the 10 gifted. Oh, you have literal proof of me delivering mail to your house, huh? I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do. Okay. Okay. Yeah, totally. Chat, what y'all do today, though? Y'all do anything today? Anything at all? Huh? Anything? Work? Y'all didn't work. Check, we're acting like Magic Conch. Do you think anybody in here has a job?
No.
Exactly. Magic Conch, am I the coolest person in here?
Warning. This match is not actually all-knowing.
Okay. Okay. See, I don't know why she gotta start doing all that. You know what I mean? I don't know why. Yo, Bet Egghead. Appreciate you, Egghead. W Egghead as well. Case, I'm taking the Ohio Assessment for Educators test tomorrow to become a teacher. I'm so nervous. Send some prayers. Yeah, you're failing that, big dog. Not gonna lie. GG. Yeah, GG, bro. You might as well not even show up. Yeah, it's over. Nah, I'm joking. You got it. It's gonna be easy. See, this the same type of thing. Egghead with the 5. No, see, look. Chad, I was joking, bro. Y'all know I was joking. No, it's the same type of thing. It's like you think something's gonna be like really difficult and you're gonna get cooked when you go do it. But actually, the anticipation and waiting to go do it is the worst part. And then when you actually get there to do it, it winds up being real easy. So yeah, you got it. Good luck, Terry. You got it, Terry. You know, ain't that right, Magic Conch? Stop! I can't even ask her nothing. Ain't that right, Magic Conch?
Warning, this match is not actually all-knowing and cannot guarantee accurate predictions of the future or make good decisions. Side effects of frequent use include nausea, glass nodes, fever, skin.
Ain't that right, Magic Conch?
Warning, this match is not actually all-knowing and cannot guarantee accurate predictions of the future or make good decisions. Side effects of frequent use include nausea, glass nodes, fever, skin, academic expulsion, loss of brain cells, urge to cock and ravenous craving for garlic bread.
It's faulty. Yo, Bear with the 5 and Cherub with the 10, W Cherub with the 10 and Bear with the 5. Magic Conch, are you okay?
Warning, this match is not actually all-knowing and cannot guarantee accurate predictions of the future or make good decisions. Side effects of frequent use include nausea,
Wait.
glass nodes, fever, skin, academic expulsion, loss of brain cells, urge to cock and ravenous craving for garlic bread.
Wait, are you serious?
Warning, this match is not actually all-knowing and cannot guarantee accurate predictions of the future.
It's actually faulty! Magic Conch!
Warning, this match is not actually all-knowing and cannot guarantee accurate predictions of the future or make good decisions.
It's broke!
Glass nodes, fever, skin, academic expulsion, loss of brain cells, urge to cock and ravenous craving for garlic bread.
You know what would never fail me?
Your determination is the key to unlocking your full potential. Don't watch the clock. Do what it does. Keep going. Life is short. Smile while you still have teeth and can crunch into a zesty pickle.
Now, are you going to start acting right, Magic Conch?
Yes.
Yo, what's going on? What? Are you back?
No matter how enticing it sounds, you should exercise restraint.
Yo, something's actually going on with this right here. This ain't a normal Magic Conch sale, bruh. Something going on for real, dude. It's haunted. Chat, we literally got a haunted Magic Conch sale. And the pickle. Do you think there's no way on this planet we got the craziest RNG ever, and it just so happened that every time we pulled it like 6 times in a row, it gave one of the same answers? There's no way. No, there's no way. That would be like, no, that's impossible for it to be that, like, that much of a what's it called? You know what I mean? Y'all know what I'm saying? Scary videos. Let's see! Ooh. Why nothing else tastes like McDonald's fries? Can you stop glazing? Oh my goodness, why you glazing? Why you... Mid? Okay, I will say this. Y'all know your boy's a McDonald's hater. I am. But the only thing that McDonald's can do right is the fries. I'm not gonna lie. That's the only thing that they're actually able to do right. I'm be honest with y'all. I mean, let's be serious here for a minute. The only thing that they don't, like, not mess up on is some. Okay, see, you're paid off here. You're literally paid off here. So your other video said why nothing tastes as good as a McDonald's French fry, and now why nothing tastes as good as a McDonald's hash brown. See, you're paid off. You're literally paid off, bro. Yo, Eva with the 5. Appreciate you, Eva. How Kit Kats are made in a factory? Nah, that's mid. Why is Five Guys so expensive? Ain't that a meme, chat? Five Guys ain't actually expensive, is it? You know what's crazy? I ain't never had it, bro.
Five Guys Burgers and Fries has become a phenomenon the world over.
Okay, so you're glazing already again. I mean, can we go 5 seconds into any of these videos without glazing over here?
Not just because of its catchy name. From the notably tasty
It's mid and expensive. Chad, is Five Guys mid?
food to the iconic 50s diner
Bro, I'd
aesthetic,
low-key be mad if I was Five Guys. If somebody came out with a YouTube video titled Why is Five Guys so expensive, I'd low-key be suing somebody.
there are plenty of reasons why this burger joint has been on the minds and lips of foodies.
Hey, what the name of ground beef is going on?
Mr. Bailey, try this.
Hey, let's not start with this, dude. Let's not start with these random clips of movies and stuff in the video, please.
But the most pressing topic of conversation is also the least flattering. Why does a trip to Five Guys have to break the bank? Well, today, we're ordering up the never-frozen truth.
Dude,
and
how
taking a peek into
expensive
the
is
greasy
it?
paper bag of Five Guys history to learn once and for all, why is Five Guys so expensive? Before we
Okay,
get
so it's Wi-Fi
grilling,
with the
make sure to
five.
subscribe to the Weird History Food channel. After that, head down to the comments and let us
$30 for okay, say you get a burger, some French fries, and a drink. How much is that running you right there? Y'all lying. 25 plus? Why y'all lying up in here? There ain't no way it's that much.
know what other pricey food you'd like to hear about. Okay, if there are only Five Guys, how do they make so many burgers?
Yeah, I'm about to get off this video.
Stop anyway!
Between 2010 and 2011, Five Guys Burgers and Fries was the fastest growing fast food chain out there,
Cap.
with a 32.8% increase in sales. Today, there are nearly 1,700 locations worldwide,
Cap.
and even more on the horizon. But even as Five Guys looks to be thriving,
It
it
don't
has
even,
also
to be honest with you, that don't even look good, bro. I'm not gonna lie, that don't even look good.
come under fire by its target demographic. Millennials have been blamed for killing everything from the diamond industry to fabric softener to Santa Claus, probably. And now it looks like Five Guys might make the list. While their food may be delicious, it's also pretty pricey compared to similar fast
$600 BLT. Oh, that's the calories. Oh my goodness! So how bad is this compared to like McDonald's or something? $6 hot dog? You lying. Where? No way! Oh, that hot dog gotta be like a foot long, bruh. Ain't no way that's a regular. Is it like a regular hot? Ain't no way, bruh. No. Oh, no. It's a regular hot dog? Okay, so now let me look up how much a foot long costs from Sonic. Foot long price Sonic. Okay, I was ready to prove a point, but it's bad too. But it's $6.39 for a foot long hot dog at Sonic versus a $6.19 for a regular over here. That's what there's got to be a reason it's so expensive. That's why I'm watching this video. Wi-Fi with the 5, thank you.
food chains. Depending on where you are in the world, you can probably go to your local Burger King, Hardee's, In-N-Out, McDonald's, or Wendy's and get a burger for less than $4, with Hardee's being the cheapest at just $2.29. Getting a similar meal at Five Guys will be almost 4 times that amount at $8.89 for their little single patty burger. Five Guys' most expensive burger is their bacon cheeseburger, which totals a sticker-shocking $13.09.
Run that by me again real quick.
4 times that amount at $8.89 for their little single patty burger. Five Guys' most expensive burger is their bacon cheeseburger, which totals a sticker-shocking $13.09.
The only way that's justified is if that's literally the best hamburger on the face of the planet. Is it? I need to try Five Guys, no joke. I don't even know if there's a Five Guys in Arkansas. I've never seen one in my life. Maddie with the 5, thank you. I've never seen a Five Guys in my life. Unless they're walking around my house naked.
That's
but I don't
almost
know.
$3 more than their closest competitor, McDonald's.
I wants to try it, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I wants to try it. I do.
$0.19 double bacon quarter pounder with cheese. And no, that doesn't include fries or a drink. Ouch. A meal that clenches your heart and your wallet.
Oh, this is a big one.
After the restaurant chain's initial explosion in popularity in
Bro said this a big one. Bro was having heart attacks so often, he would classify them as like small ones or big ones. Y'all remember that?
2010s, fans of the chain gradually began to take notice of the hefty price tags en masse.
Whoa!
The controversy has taken fresh form in more recent years as people take to social media to air out their grievances with what some called highway robbery.
So I'm just wondering why the food here is so pricey.
Hey, come on now. What robber leaves you with a burger? Fans flock to the defense of Five Guys while
$6 hot dog, by the way. Joker with the 5.
detractors vehemently disparage the brand. And though it can't be denied that the restaurant is a comparatively costly fast food option, there are reasons for Five Guys' pricey menu.
That's what I was about to say. There's got to be a reason here. They got to be like the best hamburger in the world, bro.
And they're a little more nuanced than the founders need to maintain a fleet of personal watercraft. But first, we've got to go back to the beginning. The time, 1986. The place, Washington, D.C. The advice, about to be served hot and with cheese. Jerry and Janie Morrell had saved up $70,000 for their
And they invented the hamburger, huh?
4 sons to go to college, but had noticed that their oldest boys weren't exactly the scholarly type. They decided to give them an ultimatum: either get a degree or start a business. Their sons chose the latter. That same year, the Morrell family used their $70,000 as startup money to open up their first carry-out burger restaurant in a shopping center in Arlington, Virginia. Jerry and his sons Matt, Jim, Chad, and Ben
And it
became
was
the
that easy, huh?
titular Five Guys on the sign. But 2 years later, the Morrells had another child, a 5th and final boy named Tyler. At that point, Jerry removed himself from the equation and decided the restaurant would instead be named for his 5 sons. Pushed out of the business by an infant, how did Jerry ever recover? Of course, he remained
Because, what do you mean, how did he recover? He's serving $13 hamburgers.
involved in the business, even though his name technically wasn't on the sign anymore. Five Guys evolved over the years as the guys perfected their burger-making art. In this early stage, the Morrells adopted a simple approach to their restaurant. Five Guys Burgers and Fries offered totally fresh food. Their buns were made daily.
Totally fresh, huh? Use a lie.
Five
There's
Guys
no such thing as totally fresh. Unless you going out in the back with a dadgum double barrel, blowing old Lester the cow's head off, cutting him up and making burgers out of him on site.
Burgers and Fries offered totally fresh food.
Joker
Their
with the
buns were made daily
TNW
by a
Joker.
bakery in the same Arlington shopping center where their restaurant was located. They hand-formed their burger patties, their free peanuts were refreshed often, and their toppings and ingredients were never
Wait, is this the... Wait!
frozen. This commitment to freshness
Is this one of them places where they give you peanuts and they tell you throw them on the floor when you're done with them? Oh, it ain't. Y'all ever been to one of them restaurants where they give you peanuts and they tell you don't put them back in the basket when you're done, throw the shells on the floor? Like they literally want you to throw the shells on the floor. Y'all ever been to a place like that? No joke. You walk through there, just be shell action all over the place.
as well as their signature French fries cooked in peanut oil, garnered a cult following. A cult following without a single peanut allergy in sight. Even the Pentagon took notice and tried to put in an order for delivery of 15 burgers. Jerry Morrell refused the order, telling Pentagon officials that Five Guys doesn't do deliveries. Allegedly, an admiral personally called Morrell to tell him, "Mr. Morrell, everyone delivers food to the Pentagon."
Yo,
In
Joker
response,
with the
Morrell
five.
put a 22-foot banner outside the restaurant that read, "Absolutely no delivery." Five Guys doesn't negotiate with the Pentagon.
So I just got the call from Dee Dee's, $100, one mission, back to school shopping, let's do this.
So, okay, I'm gonna ask y'all this again. Chat, does Five Guys have the best hamburger in the world? Yes or no? No. So who does then? Jerry's? Or what's that other place called? Freddy's. Yeah, not Jerry's, Freddy's. Yo, Gray with the 5. W, Gray with the 5. There ain't no way my dad just said Burger King. Yo, Fat Bear with 5,000 bits. Oscar Baby with the 10 as well. There's a Five Guys in Little Rock, Jonesboro, and Conway. Really? I'm gonna have to go to a Five Guys, chat. I'm not gonna lie. I'd also like to send you a radio for when you're playing Contraband. Bet. Appreciate you, Fat Bear. Denali with the 5.
Word quickly
I wanna
spread through
try this
Arlington,
now.
and between 1988 and 2001, the Morells opened 4 more Five Guys restaurants around the Washington, D.C. area. This time, they included dine-in seating to let their newfound customer base sit, enjoy their meals, and take in the white and red checkered environment. From there, the Morells started offering franchise opportunities in Maryland and Virginia, which is when the brand really started to take off.
Red
This was a
Robin!
deal with Mark Mosley, a former kicker for the Washington Redskins, an unstoppable record setter before his retirement and foray into business. Mosley would take on the responsibilities of franchising Five Guys, while the Morell family focused on the food. This proved to be a very lucrative
Dude, I'm sorry. This looks like some regular hamburger action, bro. Does it not? It's just some hamburger action.
partnership. In just 18 months, Five Guys sold out of their available franchise territory in both
If it
Maryland
is, then
and
why is it so
Virginia.
much money?
In May of 2009, then-President Barack Obama gave the chain some free publicity when he made an unscheduled stop at a Washington, D.C. location while filming an NBC News feature with Brian Williams.
What?
Obama ordered several meals for his staff, a cheeseburger with ketchup for Williams and a cheeseburger with lettuce, tomatoes, jalapenos, and mustard for himself. He shelled out $80 for the order and fled the gathered spectators with his paper bags in hand.
Hold on, it can't be that expensive if he got all that action. He got all that action and it was only $80. Look at all them people. In 2009, but yeah, okay.
Feature with Brian Williams. Obama ordered several meals for his staff, a cheeseburger with ketchup for Williams and a cheeseburger with lettuce, tomatoes, jalapenos, and mustard for himself. He shelled out $80 for the order and fled the gathered spectators with his paper bags in hand.
Thanks, Obama.
By the 2010s, the brand had become a beloved regional go-to, similar to the West Coast In-N-Out
I'm
chain.
sorry,
At the
it
time,
don't
it was
even
difficult
look
not to weigh
all
the two
that.
against each other. The style and color palettes of their restaurants, burger-focused menus, and never-frozen foods were all mirror images of each
I fear you're just lying, ma'am. You don't have to lie on here. What do you mean never frozen? What do you mean never frozen?
other. Each brand had their diehard fans and their diehard haters.
What do you
but as the
mean?
years went on, Five Guys was seeing a lot more of the former. They expanded their franchising efforts into the rest of the country before going global, with new locations popping up in Asia, Canada, Europe, and the Middle East. Then, in 2020, indoor dining and eating establishments got a little more complicated for some reason we can't quite recall, and Five Guys was forced to innovate. A location in Surfside Beach, South Carolina, opened up and decided to retain the drive-thru.
Literally everything in the world fell off after COVID hit. I'm not going to lie. It ruined literally everything. To this day, everything's still ruined. And I think it's going to stay ruined forever. I remember pre-COVID, me and Link could jump in the car any day of the week at 3 o'clock in the morning, drive to Mickey D's, and they would still be open. After that, They just ain't open all the time no more. It's just they close now. It's like, hey, bruh, it's been like 5 years. Y'all gonna go back to 24/7? Same thing with Walmart. You could go to Walmart at 3 o'clock in the morning. They still close at like midnight. Like, golly.
Dough left over from the previous business. This way, customers wouldn't have to walk inside the restaurant during the ongoing coronavirus pandemic. This made the Surfside Beach location the first ever Five Guys with a drive-thru. Yes, you heard that right. Five Guys had been operating without a single drive-thru window for 34 years.
What?
In 2023,
That's why I never got it. Besides me never seeing it, if I had seen one, I still wouldn't have got it. Oh, I gotta get out my car and walk in there and get something? Peace.
Five Guys moved their company headquarters
I'm trying to pull
to
up
the
to the
newly
window.
built 5th floor of a building in Alexandria, Virginia. Despite all these massive changes, the Morels have continued to own and operate Five Guys as a family business.
Dude,
Massive changes,
again.
the Morels have continued to own and operate.
I'm sorry, that looks nasty to me. That burger looks nasty. It looks gross. It looks like it's got some crusty, it just looks nasty, bro. It does. That don't look, it looks charred, just nasty, man. Like,
Five Guys as a family business, and the menu has remained surprisingly unchanged.
This your bag, sir?
What gave it away?
Oh, you the Geico Gecko! I filed a claim for my car with the Geico app. Only took 2 minutes.
that's what real burger meat looks like when it's cooked, and yeah, real burger meat's nasty. The other day, we was grilling some hot dogs and some hamburgers, and growing up, I never liked real hamburgers when they were cooked on the grill. And so the other day, I was like, you know what? I haven't tried this since I was a little kid. Let me go ahead and see if I've changed. Tried the real hamburger action again, still nasty like it was. Give me some fake action. The fake hamburgers are good. The real, it's nasty, bro. I don't know what it is. But some fake action, oh, dude, it's good.
Five Guys Burgers and Fries offers basically what it says on the sign, burgers and fries. There's also a grilled cheese and veggie option for those with dietary
Grilled cheese!
hot dogs for anyone looking to change things up, milkshakes for that 50s vibe, and free peanuts for all. But otherwise, Five Guys keeps things deceptively simple. What exactly does that mean? Well, when you look at a Five Guys menu, you won't see any fancy titles or marketing language. You're ordering hamburgers, cheeseburgers with Kraft American cheese, and bacon burgers.
So, ma'am, when are you going to tell us why it's so expensive?
That's it. The deception comes in when toppings get involved. With over 250,000 combinations to try, ordering is anything but simple. Five Guys offers ketchup, mustard, mayo, barbecue sauce, hot sauce, and A1 sauce, as well as relish, lettuce, tomatoes, pickles, jalapenos, green peppers, mushrooms, and onions, which you can get fresh or grilled. The fries, which are often too generously heaped into an order,
Oh, they're so generous.
be served as is or Cajun style. And then there's the secret menu, where you order cheese fries or a patty melt if you're feeling extra spicy. The restaurant prides itself on its excessive choices, and that pride isn't limited to the food. Five Guys was also the first burger chain to adopt the Coca-Cola Freestyle machine in 2011, giving guests free reign over their fountain drink experience.
Not gonna lie, best machine to ever hit the face of the planet right here. I'm gonna be real with y'all.
Some kind of impossible soda wizard. That's all
Actually,
well done and good.
actually, like, best thing ever. I want one in the house. I wonder if I could get one of those in the house.
But why, for the love of Cajun-style fries, is the food so pricey?
Finally.
There are actually multiple reasons why Five Guys has remained so disproportionately expensive when
Okay.
compared to similar burger joints.
Okay.
The first is the early commitment to fresh ingredients, which was carried over
Okay,
from
so
the
you're lying. Next point.
original 1986 restaurant. Fresh food costs a lot of money, and shipping it all over the world without freezing it is costly. The buns might not be made in a bakery in a Virginia shopping center like they used to be, but they are still made fresh off-site and then delivered to stores. Likewise, their beef and toppings are all shipped fresh and stored in coolers rather than freezers. In fact, as a commitment to never serving frozen food, there are no freezers in any Five Guys locations anywhere in the world. Another reason for the high price point is the portion sizes at Five Guys. It's a well-known fact that the restaurant loves to smother you in french fries, but the chain is equally magnanimous with its toppings. You can pile that burger as high as you want, and you won't see a single dime added to your receipt. But while you
Yeah,
are
because
paying
it's already 13 bucks.
for your egregiously large helping of grilled onions, you are paying for those specialty french fries.
You know what, man? I'm not even mad at it. I'm not gonna lie.
The peanut oil Five Guys uses to cook their fries is a less common product than canola oil, which is favored by many other fast food chains, presumably for its lower cost. Of course, location and changes in the market also fluctuate.
You know what?
prices.
Yeah, you know what? You know what? Make it more expensive, Five Guys. Take all these people's money. Forget these people.
A bacon burger in Vermont is priced lower than one in California, just by way of the
Yeah, I
cost
ain't
of
even
living
mad at 'em no
differences.
more, not
And
gonna
if one
lie.
of the vendors raises their prices, Five Guys responds with a price hike as well. Outside the cost of food, Five Guys
But dude, in their defense,
prices,
dude,
Five Guys
in their
responds with a price
defense,
hike
look
as
how
well.
many. Look at this. Look at this. Look how many French fry actions they throw in there.
Outside the cost of food, Five Guys also puts their employees through uncommonly rigorous training.
Okay, I'm gonna ask y'all this. Everybody knows it's expensive. Do you think Five Guys is worthy of it being as expensive as it is? I'm seeing a mixed review here. Is Five Guys prices justified? Okay, y'all saying just straight up no. Yeah, just straight up no. I mean, hey. I need to try it, chat. I actually need to try it. That's actually crazy, Adam. Adam, thank you. That's wild. That's a crazy record. I appreciate that, Adam. Thank you. Try it. I want to, bro. Now y'all got me over here being like, bro, what's up with this? You know? Every supersized lion supersize me. Chat, y'all remember Super Size Me back in the day? Dude, that had people tweaking, bruh. Super Size Me back in the day? Now I gotta see what this is now.
Same old phone? Nah. Upgrade to the
Chat,
new Galaxy
dude,
Z Fold
it
7.
had people tweaking.
It's the
Super
base
Size
meal
Me?
breakfast. Get a medium hot or
Dude,
iced
I almost
coffee
want
and
to watch it again just to see what was going, because I almost forgot.
Just wake up wraps. The Dunkin' $5 meal deal.
In 2004, director Morgan Spurlock shocked the world by
He
showing
died? He died? He dead?
everyone quite how bad McDonald's food really is. In his non-fiction documentary film, Supersize Me, the movie examines the potential causes of the American obesity epidemic, centered around a gimmicky experiment, during which Spurlock eats nothing but Mickey D's food for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, to gauge the effect on the human body.
Look at how big that thing is.
However,
Is that a problem? What you complaining about? Yo, DT with the 5, thank you.
while many of his broader points about the food industry are valid, it turns out the results of Spurlock's experiment may have been deliberately misleading.
No way!
So, today, we're going to take a look at everything that was misleading.
Chat, this dude, you just had to be there when this dropped. When Super Size Me, chat, when Super Size Me dropped, you just had to be there. Everybody was thinking they was gonna die from fast food, bro. Everybody. Oh,
about
man.
Supersize Me. But before we get started, be sure to subscribe to the Weird History Food channel. After that, please leave a comment and let us know what other food-related movies you would like to hear about. Okay, fries are up. In 1987, the good people who run McDonald's, Ronald, Grimace, Hamburglar, and that whole crew, realized
Oh, they run it, huh? Okay.
they could make more money by selling customers slightly bigger portions. And sure enough, it was in the summer of that same year that America was introduced to the notion.
Ooh! Back when McDonald's actually, oh man, the fall from grace y'all had. The fall from grace, man.
Supersizing their order. Basically, it just meant replacing the medium-sized fries and drink that came with the combo with their extra-large counterparts. But as it turns out, Americans really do believe size matters, and many were into it. Films like 1988's Who Framed Roger Rabbit and 1993's Jurassic Park were even promoted with special supersized combo meals. The term supersized quickly entered the lexicon.
We were once
and
a
before anyone knew
society.
it, the idea was American, as supersized mom, supersized Coke, and supersized apple pie. Then, in 2004, Spurlock came along with Supersize Me. The movie earned over $11 million at the domestic box office, which is still an astronomical sum for a non-fiction film. And whereas most documentaries are relegated to art houses, Supersize Me captured the interest of the nation at large, thanks to its intriguing premise. Spurlock ate nothing but McDonald's food, 3 times a day for a month.
A little bit of heaven.
Keeping track of its effect on his health and mood in the process. He even received an Oscar nomination for his efforts. Time, however, was not entirely kind to the movie.
I don't think people like this dude.
Supersize Me became controversial as claims about its veracity emerged. Some argued that it was biased or contained manipulated information. Others said Spurlock's point was automatically invalidated because no one eats McDonald's at every meal. And even though Spurlock consulted medical professionals
Egghead
to
with the
verify
fire.
his progress and results, still other critics pointed out that he was basically just asking viewers to take his word about how he felt in the midst of all his unhealthy eating.
The thing is, I've started to have like some chest, not chest pains, but like pressure.
And about
Come on, cuz.
what he was actually putting into his body. And as it turns out, they all might be right. In Supersize Me, Spurlock claims he consumed roughly 5,000 calories per day.
Well, you gonna get big on 5,000 calories of anything a day. You could eat 5,000 calories of broccoli a day and get big. Mustache with the fire.
Which causes him to gain a whopping 25 pounds in just 1 month. He also says his cholesterol spiked through the roof. His
Well, he was eating. Wow!
ravaged, and that he became depressed as a result. The implication, which Spurlock hammers with all the subtlety of the McDonald's scene in Mac and Me, is that it is unhealthy to eat fast food regularly.
Buddy, there's a difference. Huh? There's a difference between eating fast food regularly and eating 5,000 calories a day worth of fast food.
The only problem is, no one else has been able to replicate Spurlock's results.
I guess I'll step up.
University of Linköping in Sweden, for example, a group of researchers who were determined to figure out the secret of being unhealthy tried to duplicate Spurlock's results. They recruited 7 healthy medical students in their early 20s to spend a month gorging on hamburgers, french fries, pizza, and other fast foods. But that's not all. They also asked participants to avoid exercising, even going so far as to issue them free bus passes so they wouldn't walk anywhere.
But what?
Based on Spurlock's work, the experiment should have yielded some Supersize Me-like body horror, but instead, their results were notably different. Weight gain in the area of 5 to 15% above normal and decreased energy were common. Yet none of the test subjects reported feeling depression.
Well, of course they wasn't. They was eating Big Macs every day.
Similarly, their livers were not impacted the way Spurlock's allegedly was. Meanwhile, cholesterol levels were largely unchanged. Based on the results, one of the researchers...
You ain't gonna be depressed about eating McDonald's. You get depressed about having to wake up and eat steamed chicken and broccoli. That's
Spurlock's
depressing.
results might have been caused by switching from a deliberately low-energy vegan diet. As he points out in the film, Spurlock was dating a vegan chef at the time and specifically mentions eating a vegan meal with her once per day before starting his fast food experiment. It could have made his body even less capable of dealing with the greasy fried foods. Maybe.
Do you have a car?
Chad, I had no idea he was eating 5,000 calories a day.
The supersized success and cultural impact of Super Size Me spawned a number of imitators and spoofs.
Right.
And perhaps the most notable example came from comedian and former health writer Tom Naughton, who made the 2009 documentary Fathead. To challenge the findings in Spurlock's film, Naughton set out to lose weight on a fast food diet and recorded the results. His diet in the film is 50% fat intake, but he strategically plans his meals. In the process, he attempts to not only mock Spurlock,
Yo, that's my cow Agnes. You see that?
so to correct what he sees as inaccurate information.
But when I've discussed the merits of Super Size Me with my friends and associates, I've noticed a curious pattern. Almost everyone who really likes that movie shares a common and dearly held belief.
Unlike Spurlock, Naughton's blood pressure stayed the same. He also lost weight and body fat, and his cholesterol...
Because you can lose weight eating fast food every day.
Even dropped a little. In fact, the only negative effect Naughton could find was that his HDL, the so-called good...
No, you can't. You are literally a simpleton if you think you can.
...cholesterol dropped too. However, according to Naughton, that wasn't from the saturated fat, but was the result of eating foods fried in trans fats, which were supposed to be the safe alternative to saturated fats. And when he tried another diet experiment later, living on a very high amount of saturated fat with no trans fat...
You can't, bro. It must be nice being this dumb. Won't you read a book?
His HDL shot up higher than ever, and he felt great.
Yeah, I feel great.
You are a direct product of Super Size Me, matter of fact. That's actually insane. You are a direct result of Super Size Me. Thinking you can't eat fast food every day and lose weight. You literally can.
I thought I was having a heart attack or something. I probably wouldn't bother setting up a camera.
You probably assumed that the people behind McDonald's would consider Super Size Me to be a bit of a PR disaster. But in reality, they considered it to be a massive PR disaster.
Yeah, I'd have been suing that dude for everything he got. Every penny you made off that movie, I'm taking that.
And they were right to. The movie became a cause célèbre in America, with the public and media talking about the potential unhealthiness.
Won't you quit
of
trying to
McDonald's
interfere with these people, man? Let these people eat this slop, man.
food. For the pending
Let 'em
overseas
eat that
release,
slop. What's
McDonald's
wrong with you,
decided to
bruh?
be proactive, taking out ads in Britain's biggest newspapers refuting the documentary and its claims. But not all of its claims. In fact, what may surprise you is that the ad contained the words, "What may surprise you is how much of the film we agree with." It then went
AJ
on to
with the
acknowledge
10,
that
thank you,
Super Size Me
AJ.
did have some merit, agreeing with its core argument, that if you eat too much and do too little, it's bad for you. Yikes. They then went on to point out that Spurlock eats the amount...
Did I just see what I think I just saw? Did I just see this dude? No, there's no way I just saw what I think I just saw right there. There's literally no way that I just seen this dude putting ketchup on a dadgum hash brown. No, that can't be what I just saw.
Too little, it's bad for you. Yikes. They then...
Everyone does that. If you go to McDonald's for breakfast in the morning and you're in the car with me and I catch you putting ketchup on your hash brown, I'm going to get the car going 70, then I'm going to open your door and push you out of it. Because there's legitimately no way you're eating breakfast putting ketchup on your hash brown, dude.
went on to point out that Spurlock eats the amount of McDonald's food in 1 month that it would take an...
Hold it. Oh, you're about to be hit with a rude awakening, buddy. case like 99% of people do that, your whole world's about to collapse when you watch this, or when you see this. Ah, it's another troll poll. It's completely invalid. Got it. Yeah, it's another troll poll. It is what it is. Bet, appreciate you, Snoop. Thank you. Yo, happy birthday, Skiz. Thank you. Sorry about that. Appreciate you. Yeah, troll poll. It is what it is. Yeah, I'm gonna go eat some. Yeah, I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'm gonna go. Yeah, okay. Dude, the fact that you would even consider ketchup in your breakfast at all is unfathomable to me. Yeah, everybody that voted yes is just wrong. That's disgusting. What you're literally, I hope you know, you're ruining that hash brown putting ketchup on it. That's just ruining the hash brown. What do you put on it? Nothing. Because I'm not a sheep like you. Same type of people that just get ketchup on their fries by default. French fries, it depends on the French fry. If the French fry's great, it don't need nothing. You dip it in something, it ruins it. Man, golly, bro. Man.
Average consumer, 6 years to consume, making him absolutely nothing like a typical customer. And they weren't wrong. The question of personal responsibility often comes up in criticisms of Spurlock's film. In fact, Super Size Me never mentions how things like portion sizes or exercise factored into his results.
Made me mad.
That's a significant point, because Spurlock intentionally circumvented these things. He never sought to limit his intake at any given meal. In fact, part of the rules of his experiment required him to supersize any time he was asked.
I think I'm gonna have to go supersize.
And he seriously avoided the kind of exercise that might have mitigated his weight gain. Which is to say, he rigged the results. Or in other words, nutrition, while important, is only one element of a healthy lifestyle.
So it was rigged.
However you feel about his message, Super Size Me is entertaining. Spurlock accompanies the serious points he's making with moments of humor and the use of pop songs to ironically accentuate certain ideas. And it all works. But it also obscures the fact the director was biased. And it wasn't an accidental bias either. Author Chuck Klosterman has pointed out
But why would he want to do that, though?
Self-serving bias that likely arose because you could not sell a movie about eating fast food and feeling fine. Essentially, Spurlock set out to make a movie about how McDonald's was contributing to the obesity epidemic, and was never trying to make an impartial evaluation.
He's vegan? How's he vegan if he did this?
Fast food in your diet.
Turning your school project into
So that was his ulterior motive because he was vegan?
Remove the background and add a mask.
Now, arrow to give emotion and watch it come to life in the real world.
Only Brawny has 3 plies, and it's stronger than Bounty.
Everyone knows fast food isn't terribly healthy. But
yeah, it is. Nah, see, I'm joking.
Super Size Me makes the situation seem downright alarming. While evaluating his progress at the end of the film, Spurlock's doctor tells him he has lived.
But dude, there's literally stuff on every menu that you can get that's legitimately not bad. Like borderline, like seriously. Like McDonald's, for example. If you just get if you say I want a hamburger, no cheese, just a hamburger for McDonald's, that's legitimately not even bad, like at all. It's really not. Now, when you start getting into all that nugget action, all that fry action, that's when it starts getting bad. But if you go like, hey, can I get like a couple hamburgers or something? you're running like 500 calories and the macros ain't even that bad on it. I'm for real. I'm serious. And if you get some McDonald's chicken nuggets, you take the skin off. That's just like some chicken action, man. A couple of hamburgers. That's 500 calories. A hamburger from McDonald's is 250 calories. You get 2 of them, that's 500.
Damage because fast food is pickling his liver.
The results for your liver are obscene beyond anything I would have thought.
Indeed, the suggestion that fast food could be harmful to a person's liver was one of the film's more
Bro, it's full of salt. You're full of salt. Everything's full of salt. You wouldn't be alive if you didn't have no salt action.
The thing is, Spurlock was lying. Or rather, he was hiding something significant. At the beginning of the movie, he claims to be in good health and denies alcohol use to his doctor in his initial checkup.
Any alcohol use?
Now, none.
But in a 2017 social media post addressing sexual harassment allegations made against him, Spurlock wrote that he had been consistently drinking since the age of 13 and hadn't been sober for more than a week in 30 years. In other words, there's a reason his liver looks like that of a binge drinker. And it ain't Mickey D's. The damage to Spurlock's liver is much better explained by his excessive drinking than by eating any amount of McDonald's. An article in the Wall Street Journal also speculated that the physical shakes Spurlock is shown experiencing in the film might have been a
Because he was relapsing.
symptom of alcohol withdrawal.
Withdrawal. And he was trying to blame the shakes on the Mickey D's. Man, that's crazy.
You might recall hearing that Mickey D's was so freaked out about Spurlock's documentary that they ended their supersized promotion permanently.
Yeah, and that's when y'all started to decline.
While that has become part of the film's lore, like so much else about Super Size Me, it may not be entirely true. It is accurate that McDonald's scrapped supersized foods and drinks at the end of 2004, but the company denied it had anything to do with Spurlock's documentary, instead calling it an act of menu simplification. According to McDonald's, it's because supersized French fries were not an especially popular item. So while they didn't rule out bringing them back from time to time in special promotions, they felt it was time to phase them out. That being said, according to Bloomberg, McDonald's menu would only get more complicated.
What is this? See, in the effort to simplify your menu, McDonald's, you have created, like, it's too simple. Y'all really ain't got nothing, bro. I'm not gonna lie. That's the one big problem with McDonald's. Y'all really ain't got nothing, dude. Like, you really don't got nothing. You go to McDonald's and you actually look at their menu, like, they really ain't got nothing. I mean, they don't.
In the years to come, ballooning from 60 to 145 items between 2007 and 2014.
To 5 now.
At the very least, that has to call the whole menu simplification rationale into question. It's also important to remember that the Golden Arches felt threatened enough by Spurlock's film to take out a full-page ad in the paper. So, much like Super Size Me, we should take McDonald's explanation with a grain of fry salt. So what do you think? Did you believe what you saw in Super Size Me?
I don't believe nothing ever. All right, spooky video. Let's go. Had to watch that, though. Ooh!
Disturbing last seen CCTVs.
Yeah, y'all can read that.
On the evening of December 7th, 2000, Trevor Deely went to his office's
2000!
Christmas party at a nightclub down the street from the Bank of Ireland in Dublin, where he had been working in the IT department for about a year. Upon leaving the party at 3:30 a.m., Trevor couldn't get a ride back to his apartment due to a massive taxi driver's strike, and his only option was to walk home through an area notorious for crime and gang violence.
Oh, no.
It was a 20-minute walk home, and since the bank was pretty much just up the street, Trevor decided to make a quick stop at his office to grab his umbrella before walking home in the rain. Strangely, the bank's CCTV footage shows a man dressed in black standing behind one of the pillars of the bank's gate. The man can be seen standing there for almost half an hour before Trevor arrives. A little after 3:30, the man in black pulls out his cell phone to take a call, and
cell phone? They had cell phones in 2000?
a few seconds later, Trevor walks by, also on the phone. Police later determined that at that exact time, Trevor had made a phone call to a coworker who was still at the bank. The CCTV video shows Trevor arriving at the bank's front gate, and a second man dressed in black steps out of the shadows to talk to him. Trevor ends his call as he opens the gate and talks to the man in black. It doesn't look like they know each other, but Trevor doesn't seem to be scared or concerned. The man simply stands by the gate as Trevor walks in, and a few minutes later, the man in black walks out of the camera's view. Trevor's coworker reported that he and Trevor shared a cup of tea that night and talked about the party for a while, and that Trevor had also logged onto his work computer for a couple of minutes just before he left the bank at about 4 a.m. The CCTV footage shows Trevor stepping out onto the street and opening his umbrella before walking home. He didn't appear to be followed, and a few minutes later at about 4:06 a.m., he made a call to a friend to let him know that everything was alright and that he was on his way home. But since his friend was still asleep, he left a voicemail. That voicemail would be the last time that anyone heard from Trevor Deely. At 4:14 a.m., Trevor was seen walking by an ATM on a street about 15 minutes away from his apartment. Less than 30 seconds later, a man in black appears on screen, apparently following Trevor.
That's probably the same dude, bruh.
16 years later in 2016, the CCTV footage was digitally enhanced, and police determined that the man in black from the bank was the same man who later followed him. This was the last footage where Trevor was seen alive. Although he missed work on Friday, his coworkers didn't seem to find it strange, considering that many other employees were still hungover from the party and had also taken the day off. But after his friends and family couldn't get in touch with him over the weekend, and he didn't show up for work on Monday, he was immediately reported missing. Trevor's friends and family led the search
7 minutes
from the beginning, and it was actually his friends and not the police who managed to get the disturbing footage from that evening. Unfortunately, they didn't have access to the footage until 4 days after his disappearance, which meant that the police had lost valuable time in the search for Trevor Deely. There may have been more CCTV footage of Trevor from that night, but at the time, CCTV cameras recorded their footage on VHS tapes, which were often recorded over with new footage, erasing the previous footage in the process. Over the years, several theories about Trevor's disappearance have surfaced, but none of them have been confirmed. Some have speculated that he might have been intoxicated that night, which may have caused him to fall into the water under the bridge and drown. But Irish police searched all nearby bodies of water, and no signs of Trevor were ever found. Most people believe that the mysterious man who was seen following Trevor in the CCTV footage had something to do with his disappearance.
This is another example of how crazy disappearances are. This dude went missing in the year 2000 and never seen again. Ever. It's been 25 years, bruh.
But to this day, he remains unidentified.
Golly.
In 2017, police received a tip from an anonymous source who claimed to know what had happened to Trevor. According to this source, the man who followed Trevor that night was a gang member who murdered Trevor after he refused to help him gain access to the Bank of Ireland building. The man supposedly buried him in the woods a few miles away from where Trevor was last seen. For several weeks, 20 police officers and a search dog continued to search the site, but after 2 months of digging, the search was called off.
Nah, Chad, this was just some random tip they got. This wasn't guaranteed what happened.
Years after the incident, Trevor Deely's chilling disappearance is an open and active case.
Still ain't nothing!
The events leading up to it, however, are still a mystery.
Man, golly, man.
On November 28, 2012, Emma Philippoff disappeared under very strange circumstances in Victoria, British Columbia. A year before her mysterious disappearance, Emma had fulfilled her lifelong dream of moving to the Canadian West from Perth, Ontario. Although she arrived in Victoria without a job or place to live, Emma quickly moved in with a friend and found work at a local cafe while she looked for her own place to live. Things seemed to be going well for Emma, but when winter came, she became much more withdrawn and started acting in strange ways. According to her roommate, it wasn't uncommon to see Emma engage in obsessive-compulsive rituals and erratic...
Yo, 1,000 bits from Pope. In case I'm having issues with my job and I'm wanting to leave, should I leave and pursue being a... Yes. Yes, you should leave and pursue being a teacher. A life too short to be messing around with them jobs. Ritual.
But when winter came, she became much more withdrawn and started acting in strange ways. According to her roommate, it wasn't uncommon to see Emma engage in obsessive-compulsive rituals and erratic behaviors, and to fall victim to what seemed to be manic episodes.
Some ritual action.
Just a few months after her arrival in Victoria, Emma abruptly left her friend's apartment, quit her job at the cafe, and began living pretty much anywhere she could find. She stayed at a hotel, camped in the woods, and even slept on boats in Victoria's harbor for a while. By early 2012, Emma was living in a women's shelter in Victoria. That summer, Emma landed a seasonal job at Redfish Bluefish, a popular seafood restaurant in Victoria's Inner Harbor.
Yo, that sounds good. Redfish, Bluefish. Where you work at? Oh, I got a job over there at Redfish, Bluefish.
Where she seemed relatively happy for a while.
Yo, YS.
It was also around that time that Emma bought a red Mazda MPV van in hopes of permanently living on the road and traveling to different cities in the US, Mexico, and Canada. When she left her seasonal job in October, she assured her co-workers that she would be back in the spring. Unfortunately, Emma's mental health struggles kept her from reaching the freedom she longed for, and her behavior grew increasingly erratic and unpredictable. In the months before her disappearance, her friends and some of the staff at the women's shelter mentioned that she had been acting paranoid over an unnamed man she had dated back when she was a culinary school student in Perth. She never mentioned whether they had kept in touch, but this seemed to be one of the causes for her paranoid behavior. A few weeks before her disappearance, Emma had an episode where she dragged the furniture in the women's shelter across the street and later claimed that she heard voices coming from the furniture telling her to do it. Around that time, she also gave away and sold many of her personal belongings. On November 20th, Emma was seen on CCTV at the YMCA in Victoria. In this strange video, she can be seen walking in and out of the building several times in the span of 14 minutes. Some people have speculated that she might have been trying to hide from someone, while others claim she was probably waiting for a ride and didn't want to spend the entire time outside in the freezing cold while her ride arrived. But neither of these theories were ever confirmed. 3 days after this footage was captured, Emma had a series of emotional conversations over the phone with her mother, during which Emma asked her mother to let her move back in with her in Perth. Her mother agreed, but grew concerned after Emma changed her mind several times between moving back to Perth and staying in Victoria during their conversations.
For me, I thought he said his mom was gonna say no. W mom though. She said yeah.
On November 28th, Emma's mother realized she was living in a woman's shelter after she dialed back a number that Emma had called from, and a staff member answered the phone. Concerned about her daughter's well-being, she immediately took a plane to Victoria.
She took a plane to go help her too, either.
Same day, at around 8:30 a.m., Emma was captured on CCTV walking into a 7-Eleven and buying a prepaid card for $200. Later that afternoon, she went back to the 7-Eleven to buy a prepaid cell phone, which she never activated. The video shows Emma repeatedly looking out the window and hesitating before leaving the store, as if she was trying to avoid someone on the outside. Her paranoid behavior suggests that she might have been followed or threatened, but this was never confirmed. After finally leaving the 7-Eleven, she arrived back at the shelter at about 6 p.m. to find out that her mother was on her way to pick her up and take her home. Upon hearing the news from a staff member, Emma rushed out the front door and took a cab to the airport. A few minutes later, though, Emma cut the ride short by telling the driver she couldn't afford the $60 ride, even though reports mentioned that she had had over $2,000 on her at the time.
Huh?
With Hotels.com,
Man,
members save up to 20%.
golly.
With that kind of discount, you could stay at a place with a...
Dennis Quay, an acquaintance of Emma, later ran into her at a crossing outside the Empress Hotel at around 8 p.m. She was barefoot, and according to Dennis, she seemed extremely agitated and refused to cross the street. Emma's paranoid behavior led Dennis to ask her if she was being followed, but she assured him that she wasn't. Not knowing what else to do, Dennis called the police to tell them there was a dazed and distressed woman walking barefoot in front of the Empress Hotel.
At least he called the
A few
police.
minutes later, Victoria police arrived and spoke to Emma for 45 minutes. Somehow, the officers decided that she was not a threat to herself or anyone else, and they let her go. That was the last time anyone ever saw Emma.
Yup.
3 hours after she was last seen, her mother arrived at the women's shelter to pick her up, but Emma was nowhere to be found. After her mother reported her missing, the search for Emma Filipoff began.
Man, why? What you mean you let her go? Look what happened! Look what happened!
A Mazda van in the Chateau Victoria Hotel parking lot, where she had paid to get it towed 3 days before her disappearance on November 25th. Inside the van were all of Emma's belongings, including her laptop, passports, a pillow, and clothes, indicating that she might have been planning to move back to Perth or run away. Unfortunately, this is where Emma's case went cold, except for a few mysterious...
Would you want them to do arrest her? Yeah, because that's the only option when they show up. Shut up.
In 2014, a man in a green shirt walked into a convenience store in Gastown, about 75 miles north of Victoria. According to the store owner, the man ripped off a poster advertising a $25,000 reward for finding Emma, telling the owner that Emma wasn't missing. He claimed that Emma was his girlfriend and that she had been living with him and that she ran away from her family because she hated them. Although the store owner reported this to the police, the man was never identified. 4 years later in 2018, almost 6 years after Emma's disappearance, another man confirmed that he had seen her on the morning after her disappearance, claiming that up until then he hadn't made the connection that the woman he had seen was Emma. According to the man, Emma was standing on the side of the road, barefoot and soaking wet, looking nervous and paranoid as she asked the man for a ride. She claimed she was going to visit a friend in Colwood, about 10 miles from Victoria. The man told Emma he couldn't take her that far, but he drove her a few miles and dropped her off at a nearby gas station. After that, nobody ever saw Emma again. Strangely, the identity of this friend that Emma mentioned she was going to visit is still a mystery. Although Emma's mother has searched non-stop for her daughter for several years, the cause for Emma's disappearance is still unknown.
Still 2012, gone. See, Chad, that's the crazy part about these, bruh. People just disappear, don't never see nothing of them again. How?
Some people speculate that she might have fallen victim to the man she mentioned she dated back in Perth, even though the police interrogated him and eventually cleared him. Another possibility is that she was kidnapped by the man in the green shirt in the footage. Due to Emma's mental state in the weeks leading up to her disappearance, other people think that her mental health struggles might have gotten the best of her. 11 years later, and police still don't know whether Emma even left the island in the first place, or if she's still out there somewhere.
Just no information, man.
The haunting disappearance of the Jameson family in 2009 gave
I've heard of this one.
Attention and media coverage after some disturbing footage of the family was found by police. In 2009, Bobby and Sherilyn Jameson lived with their 6-year-old daughter Madison in Eufaula, Oklahoma. Although they lived what appeared to be normal
appreciate
lives,
you, Zach,
the
for 1,000
Jamesons'
bits.
marriage
Thank you,
was a
Zach.
rocky
W.
one,
Zach, man.
and police
Appreciate
have
that,
long
bro.
tried to figure out if their difficult circumstances were somehow tied to their disappearance. Around the time of their disappearance, the couple had been dealing with financial issues. Since 2003, the Jamesons had been on disability after Bobby was involved in a serious
I've
car
seen this one.
accident
They all
that
went
led to
missing,
severe
chat.
chronic back pain. His wife Sherilyn had her own health issues. She had been diagnosed with bipolar disorder, but sometimes refused to take her medication. In 2009, the family decided to drive up to check out a 40-acre plot of land in Red Oaks, Oklahoma, about 30 miles away from their home in Eufaula. They specifically asked to inspect the plot of land without a real estate agent present.
You look like an orange, buddy. What kind of elementary insult is that? You look like an orange. Buddy, grow up.
Jamesons had told their friends and family that they were planning on moving there to start a new life after pulling their 6-year-old daughter Madison out of kindergarten over some kind of disagreement with their daughter's school. During the week they drove up to Red Oaks, nobody heard from the family. Because they were an unusually private family that often went off the grid without contacting anybody for weeks at a time, nobody assumed that the Jamesons had disappeared. But after a pair of hunters discovered the family's truck abandoned on a dirt road at the edge of the woods 9 days after they were last seen,
I remember seeing this picture!
That something was wrong. Inside the truck, police found a GPS, cell phones, empty pill bottles, wallets, and $32,000 in cash, which was extremely strange considering the Jamesons had been struggling
What you think they did with that $32,000 in cash they found?
financially. Disturbingly, the Jamesons' dog was found alive in the truck, dehydrated and starving after spending days in the locked vehicle. Police also reported that they found a chilling 11-page angry letter from Sherilyn to Bobby, in which she accused him of hating his daughter and being a loner and a hermit. According to a specific police report, there was a haunting sentence in the letter that read, "I would not wish my daughter to be raised in foster care because of you being in prison for attempted murder and her mother dead." At this point, it was impossible for anyone to know what had happened to the Jamesons. But immediately after it was determined that the family was missing, police started a search around the area where the truck was found. For 9 months, a search team consisted...
9 months, nothing.
of 400 volunteers, 16 search dogs, unmanned drones, planes, horses, and a specialized search unit scoured the woods in search of the missing family. During this time, police found unsettling footage recorded by the family's home security cameras from the day the Jamesons vanished. In the video, Bobby and Sherilyn can be seen loading their truck in preparation for the trip.
Yeah. Yo!
My name is Cecilia.
Man, come
I'm a
on.
mom of 2 girls, a psychologist, and I choose to transform my PBC treatment journey with
But something immediately seems off about the footage. The couple make over 20 trips to load the truck, sometimes putting things in the truck and then taking those same things back to the house, then back to the truck again. A few times, the husband and wife even walk from the truck to the house and back again without carrying anything in their hands. Strangely, the couple change clothes several times throughout the video, and it's hard to tell exactly with the low frame rate of the footage, but they seem to not interact with each other a single time.
Bro, all you simpletons talking about YouTube Premium. I want YouTube Premium! I like getting ads in the middle of a video. It's part of the experience. I don't need no YouTube Premium.
Psychologist that was called in to review the footage immediately attributed the couple's bizarre trance-like movements and strange behavior to illegal drug use. Bobby had a history of drug use, but it was never confirmed whether the couple was under the influence of drugs during the video. After looking deeper into the Jamesons' lives, police were only left with more questions. A pastor close to the family mentioned that shortly before their disappearance, Bobby had told him that there were spirits living on the roof of his house, and he had even requested that an exorcism be performed at his home multiple times.
Exorcism?
Bobby Jameson also owned a copy of the Satanic Bible, which he had been reading before his disappearance to try and find a way to make the spirits leave his house. Friends and family members have also mentioned that they believe the house was haunted, and many of them reported having paranormal experiences and feeling an overwhelmingly dark presence whenever they visited the house. Despite the validity of these claims, it is known that Sherilyn Jameson was involved in a kind of witchcraft. She frequently held seances at her house and often spoke about her supposed paranormal experiences.
Seances?
Sherilyn owned cats, and after they died, she suspected that her neighbors had poisoned them, so she spray painted the words, "Witches do not like it when their cats are killed," on a large metal storage container on the Jamesons' property. The mystery around the case continued to grow, but it wasn't until November 2013, 4 years after the Jamesons' disappearance, that 2 deer hunters stumbled upon the skeletal remains of 2 adults and a small child, about 3 miles from where the family's truck had been found 4 years earlier.
Chad, they gone.
Because the bones were heavily decomposed, it wasn't until 8 months later that forensic investigators were finally able to confirm that the skeletons belonged to the Jameson family. Due to the state of the skeletal remains, the cause of death couldn't be determined. With so many disturbing events and unsettling circumstances leading to the family's disappearance, many theories about what had happened to the Jamesons began to surface. Police began by investigating Bobby Jameson's father in connection with the murders. Less than 6 months before the family's disappearance, Bobby had sued his father for $10,000 for making him work unpaid at his gas station, promising him that he'd give his son a stake in the business in the future. After his father sold the gas station and refused to pay him, Bobby started a
Somebody say
lawsuit
Elvis. He does look like Elvis. I'm not gonna lie. It's giving a little bit of Elvis action.
against his father. But things took a dark turn, and Bobby had to get a restraining order after his father threatened to kill him and his family multiple times. Even though Bobby's father was a known meth user and was involved in criminal activity, police concluded that he was not involved in the family's death. One popular theory is that, considering Bobby Jameson's drug use and the unexplained $32,000 found in the family's car, it's possible that the Jamesons were involved in the drug trade and were killed in a drug deal gone wrong.
No, I don't know about that.
Where the bodies were found in is notorious for drug activity, but no solid evidence has been found to support this theory. Police found a small hole on the back of Bobby's head, but forensic experts believe that it was too small to be a bullet hole, and that it was most likely caused by animals after his death.
Oh, yeah.
Other people have speculated that the Jamesons could have been involved in a cult. The strange symbols and cryptic writing that was found on the family book seem to support this idea, and Sherilyn's own mother claimed that her daughter was on a cult's hit list for some unknown reason.
What?
Although there has been cult activity in eastern Oklahoma since the 90s, their presence has decreased over the years, and it was never confirmed.
Chad, imagine you was on a cult hit list.
Jamesons had any involvement with a cult. Because of the hate letter found in the truck and the couple's history of mental illness and drug use,
Somebody just said I am. What did you do?
People think that either Bobby or Sherilyn could have murdered their family before themselves. With no evidence at the scene to support any of these theories, the case has remained unsolved for 14 years. Police and investigators are still searching for new evidence, but there are currently no suspects for the disappearance and murder of the Jameson family.
R.I.P. though.
On the evening of Wednesday, July 29, 2015, Stephen Mackerel went out with his brother and some friends to Lucky's Tavern, a popular bar in downtown Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Y'all ever been there, chat?
Stephen's brother left the bar at 11 p.m. to go to work the next morning. When he noticed Stephen was intoxicated, he told his brother to go home and drive safely. But the night was still young, and at around 1:30 a.m., Stephen and his friends left the bar and agreed to meet in the parking lot of a nearby Walgreens to plan their next
Walgreens!
Stephen never made it to the Walgreens, and his friends never saw him again. Stephen lived with his parents and worked as a professional poker dealer at a casino in Hollandale Beach near Fort Lauderdale. When he didn't come home the next day and didn't show up for work the day after that, his family knew something was wrong. Police reported that there were several surveillance systems in the area where Stephen was last seen, but they said it might take weeks before they could gather the relevant footage. In the meantime, investigators interviewed the friends and family members who had last seen Stephen. Thinking that he might have gotten into an accident due to his intoxicated state, police conducted searches in many different lakes and ponds, but nothing important was found. The search became even more complicated when investigators learned that Stephen's phone battery had died at the bar. Because the phone was never turned on after that night, it was impossible for police to use the phone to locate Stephen. At the time of his disappearance, Stephen was 25 and had a 1-year-old daughter and a long-term girlfriend he had plans to marry. And his friends and family claimed that he was not the type of person who would voluntarily walk out of his life and just vanish with no explanation. Unfortunately, some of the footage that was found during the investigation suggests that Stephen's disappearance was not at all his choice. 2 weeks after he was last seen, police discovered that Stephen had used his credit card at a gas station in Pompano Beach about an hour after
somebody killed him and stole his credit card, bro.
He left the bar. It was about a 15-mile drive from the bar to the gas station, and nobody understood why Stephen had even taken that detour in the first place. The surveillance footage from inside the gas station shows Stephen entering the store at 2:26 a.m., appearing to be intoxicated as he stumbles around the store, shopping for snacks. His behavior doesn't seem to bother the store owner.
Wait, what?
And less than a minute later, he walks to the counter to pay for the snacks with his credit card. For a few minutes after that, Stephen had a casual conversation with 2 young women who were inside the gas station, but this happened out of the camera's view. Nearly a week after the initial footage was revealed, police obtained additional footage of Stephen that completely changed the course of the investigation.
What?
The CCTV footage shows Stephen standing next to his 2013 white Ford Fusion in the parking lot. He seems to get into some sort of altercation with the driver of an unidentified silver sedan, and as the silver car pulls away, Stephen takes a step back and throws what appears to be his drink at the driver.
GG, there it is, bro. They came back and killed him.
He gestures with his hands at the driver as he gets into his vehicle, and 3 minutes later, the silver car circles back into the gas station, this time pulling right behind Stephen's car. The driver's intentions are unknown, but as soon as Stephen blinked right,
they circled back and pulled up behind him when he was leaving.
The driver's intentions are unknown, but as soon as Stephen pulls away in his Ford, the silver sedan speeds after him. This was the last
There it is. There it is, bruh.
time Stephen was seen alive. All police knew about the driver was that he was an African-American man who had walked shirtless into the gas station store a few minutes before the incident, but was never identified. For 8 years, Fort Lauderdale police have been searching for Stephen's car. His license plate was never scanned.
They never even found the car!
Indicating that he never left the Fort Lauderdale area. Search teams have combed through over 20 bodies of water looking for the car, but nothing has ever been found. Disturbingly, during the searches, almost 20 other vehicles have turned up in nearby lakes, ponds, and canals, including stolen vehicles with bullet holes. But nothing relating to Stephen's disappearance. Not even a clue. As of 2023, detectives and investigators still have no idea if Stephen was involved in an accident, or if he became the victim of something much more sinister.
Well, I think judging from that CCTV footage at that gas station, we know exactly what happened. He got killed, bruh. He was outside. He got into a fight with somebody. They tried to take off driving. He threw a big gulp at their car. busted, hit the car. He got like Mr. Pibb all over the car. They said, nah, I ain't going for that. Circled back in the gas station, got behind him. He tried to leave. They followed him out to a secluded area. They killed him, and they did something with his car, bro. R.I.P. See, Chad, that's why when something happens and you get into an altercation with somebody you don't know, bro, you can't do nothing, bro. You can't. You gotta let it go because you never know. You get into a fight with the wrong person, bro, they kill you, bro. Like if you road raging or something, as much as you want to get out and do something, you can't do it, bro, because all it takes is it's the wrong person. They don't care about going to jail. Just shoot you or something. That's why you got to play it safe, bro. You just got to take it on. You got to turn the other cheek on them, bro. No joke.